21st of June, Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Good morning again. This is Rabbi Shule, Furst here in Shule, Zoom. This is our second Shule learning Mr. Berura, Hilchos Beis Knesset, Siman Kuf Nun Gimel. We'll start with Sif Het. Yeah. Let's see. Eliezer, would you like to read? I think you might be. Are you muted? Muted, perhaps? Yeah, Eliezer, I think you're muted.
Okay.
Okay. Kuf Nun Gimel Sif Het in the Mechaber. Let's begin there.
Okay. Bonabias Stam, Vitishu Achar Kach Beis Knesses. So somebody builds a house, just a regular building, and afterwards he consecrates the Beis Knesses. Dinuk Beis Knesses, the Dinuk Beis Knesses, about Eno Kaddish Ad She is palatable, but it doesn't have kedusha to actually pray in it. Or if he feel in banu l'shem Beis Knesses, even if it was bought, even if it was built a Beis Knesses, Kivin is palatable. I feel orchem lefisha. Once it's prayed in, even guess, Kiv Shahayim Yuchad Tefillah Kodesh, since it has been designated for davening in his Kodesh. Im Lefisha is usually before the time it became Kodesh. Hakol Kafi Ma Amruz, whatever they can do whatever they need it for.
Right. Very good. Okay, that'll bring us to Siman Mem Ches in the Mr. Berura.
Dinuk Beis Knesset is the Dinuk Beis Knesset. Rotzalomi wants to say that Afagav de Mitchila Nishtamshu Bala Hektish, even though we're going to use it for Hektish, we call Makom Nasa Beis Knesset to call Mili. It's going to use it's considered basic Knesset in all manners. If you're near the Afilu Lechatchila Shari, even not. I thought I understood what they're saying, but the Mishnah Berura is confusing me.
One second. As a dinner, that means to say, the hedge, even though it was used for ordinary purposes, right? The hedge, normal, ordinary purposes.
Right.
Nevertheless, it becomes like a base Knesset for all matters. Benira, the feeling shari, even the katila, this is permissible, meaning it's a bit of a shidduch. It's because it's taking on like two like almost diametrical opposed halachas.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's the meaning. Since you're building this,
you're building it stam.
Well, right. So he's buying a house in Beit Shemesh. He's buying a house in Beit Shemesh, and the builder's building it stam. Right, he's building it just like he's building another 15, 20 units. He's building a whole row. He's building this house just like the other house, right? Now, afterwards, they decided that they're going to make this house into a Beit Knesset. So now, at the time, apparently at the time when they make the hektisha, when they decide to make that decision, that's when it has a din, a halakhic status of the Beit Knesset for all matters. Now,
okay,
but it's not kodesh. It's not going to be kodesh until they actually do have a prayer service in that dwelling.
So what is it? So what does it mean if it's kodesh if they haven't prayed in it yet?
It could be, for example, let's say they decide now they want to change their mind. They want to sell the house. Right?
Okay.
So they wouldn't be able to sell the house unless they have another place to daven, right? They wouldn't be able to use the money except if they use an upgrade for the for the money. They wouldn't be able to do it without the agreement of the Zion to be ear and the Maimons Anshe ear. It could be in terms of those aspects is taking on a din of a Beit Knesset, even though it's not Kaddish, meaning let's say they decide that they want to knock down a wall and change something because now they decide to make it a Beit Knesset. So it's not enough to have the dining room separate from the salon. They want to have a big place to make the place where they're going to daven. So they want to break it down. So those stones and everything like that, they may not take on actual kedusha in terms of the usage of them, or maybe they will, depending on if that's the intention of the halacha. That's what I think it might be referring to.
All right, so let's continue. So back to the beginning, Memches. Even in the beginning, it's used for mundane purposes. It's considered base of Knesset in all ways. And this, even it is permissible to use it as a base Knesset. V'ayin l'kaman simin kufnim gimel sif of aleph, l'el simin kufnim zayin sif aleph v'hagah. That v'hasam inyan kedusha we're talking about the union of kedusha. Hacha beis haknesses tashmishe mitzvahs we're talking about the beis haknesses as a place for mitzvahs, or as a support for the mitzvahs. Kamo shekasvu poskas, as the poskim write. Excuse me. Okay. Eno kodesh. It's not kodesh. The Kaimalon Hasmana Lav Milsahi, that we hold that Hasmana is not an actual operation. Umutla Chanos Biasakol is permitted to change the base connect, since you haven't created it yet, it's permitted to change it back into something that's whole. Ryan El, the Mishna Berura, Sifkatan Yud Ches, and the Mari Hacha, we explain there. Shebenahu Hakahal Mitzvah Schulin Sheyesh Lahem. Mimos, I'm sorry, that the
Okay.
it was built with most of chulin that the congregation had. About kishigavu hamos l'tzorach basic knesses, when you collect the money for the first of basic knesses, also l'shana sabayas lahoridu, because you're ushered to change the basic knesses to lower its level of holiness, l'chol to mundane operations. Mikol makom adayin ein lo kedushas basic knesses l'chol mili raksha aser l'shanas l'shanoso. But in all these cases, it doesn't have Kedusha's basic Knesset all the time, but it is usher to change it. Ba'ayin Shah, Birhalacha, etc. Okay. The Yachid Shabana base HaKnesses. An individual builds a base Knesset. Ach she'adayin lo his palubo, even though they haven't davened in it yet, they lo Kedusha's basic Knesset, and does not have the Kedusha of a basic Knesset. They can't return it. I guess return it to him.
Oh, right. He can't resort back into his own private
right. Tahare kilu nadru tzedakah rabin, because it's if he had made a pledge to tzedakah for the congregation. Aval im asa mitpach. I mean, also mitpach sefer Torah shalo. If he sheyesh lo bebeso. But if he got a cover for the Sefer Torah, of his Sefer Torah that he has in the house, they ain't called Bo Rabin, the congregation hasn't read from it yet. Kol Shalo Nishtamish Bo, the Sefer Torah Yochel Aksavo. Anything that's not used for the Sefer Torah can be returned to Chulin. Hazmana Lav Milsahi, and Hazmana, which I guess is as a plan to do something, is not considered an actual operation.
Right, simply by designating something to be used for something in a certain way, that designation doesn't make it the kodesh yet.
Umashma do have a netter al l'daito, and it's clear that he didn't make a netter in all of this. Behind b'sifrim b'prima gadim, JV b'shem Elioraba the din ze lo nihira, that the din, it's not clear what the din is?
Doesn't, they say that, yeah, this thing is not, doesn't appear to them. I mean, they'd argue on this halach.
Okay. And I feel im even if they build it, Dafshahaya Maisa Gamkane, if you've actually done a mice on it, let me create rock Hasmana Ba'alma. It's still called Hasmana because you haven't done anything with it yet. You're just building it. Kim Jahaya Miyucha has already been designated. Ratzon wants to say Hasmana Hayasa Hasmana Ma'ula. This is a good Hasmana, an excellent Hasmana. Shehizman also Olam Lesparo, because he invited people to permanently daven here. We see above in Membez, the Hecha Hasmana Leseder Laolam Lemetzer Ba Tefillin.
So he's contrasting it to he's comparing it to the halacha that we see in Siman Min Beis, that Hechet Hazmana L'Soder La'olam L'Meitzer Beit Tefillin. He has in those days they didn't have tefillin zechels, so they would have a scarf or a handkerchief, right, or a piece of fabric. Excuse me.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Right. So they would take that piece of fabric, that scarf, and they would decide that they want to use that to wrap their tefillin with sarbe, and they wrapped his tefillin in that scarf, in that piece of fabric. But tefillin pamachad, even first one only time, shuv asur limtzur bezuzi. You can't put money in that along with the tefillin.
Once you use it for the tefillin, it's achieved a level of kedusha that can't be taken away.
Right. Exactly.
Ulafuke hizmin osa lebes hatfila rak lefi shah, as opposed to something that he brought to the base tefillah only for temporary usage. The hainu ad shiyavar haregal o shi ayorid o hayorid lo chashiva hasmana klal. That's not considered a designation at all. Which are a few be'es haregal echo lishtospo, and it is permitted even on the holiday to eat and drink there.
What is this?
Yeah.
Lo Hashive. So Rax. Okay. Now Fuki. This is all coming to exclude from a case where they in also Labias at Tefillah. They were invited certain people to come to this house for the prayer. Rak Lefisha only for a particular temporary amount of time.
It's like a temporary, some sort of a temporary minion.
Yeah, Adshi over a regular. I mean, let's say you had visitors from Chutz La'aretz, so you invited them to come and daven. Or Yarid, let's say there's a business fair, right?
Gotcha.
Lokashiv is manikla, meaning, he's simply. It's not talking about a case where they were building the Beit Knesset. He's not talking about, let's say, they had the let's say you have a shul, and so they have extra. They have an overflow crowd, so they have to break up for the high holidays. They have an overflow crowd, so they have to rent a separate area. Or they're gonna use somebody's house for the overflow crowd. So just simply because they're doing it for that reason, that doesn't make it. That's not hazmana, which is going to, even if it's been used, that's not going to give it the kedusha of the Beit Knesset.
Okay. The im lefish shah hikdisha, they only made it kodesh temporarily. Hainu shamar stam anim mizamen ota the regalim. I'm inviting you for the holidays. The mashra lashon, it's clear from the lashon. The chol esh year regal. The whole time it's going to be a holiday. Alkain chashuva hasmano olamis al kolpanim. Al also zman v'isur b'zeh hazman. V'osser b'zel hazman. So clear from Lashon is it's only in use during the regel. It's considered a good hazmana for everybody during the zaman of the regel, but usher and it'd be usher to do anything else with it then.
Right.
Stam hazmana lefia shah in any temporary designation. Kvar kosev beis Yosef b'shem hamordechai lo chashivi hazmana klal. That's not considered a designation. The commercial kasu mitchiz you wrote in the beginning. In Tanai is like conditions. Ein la'el simin kufnan aleph sif yud aleph Mishna Berura shom and the Mishna Berura there.
Very good.
Back to the Shofar.
Right.
Kishimochrin Anshe Hakfar Beit HaKnesses, when the members of the village sell the Beit HaKnesses, Yecholim Machru Mimemkor, they can sell it permanently. V'lo Keach Yasubo Mashiyirtze, and the bar can do anything he wants with it. Kusi Mirchas Uborsaki Ubeis Tefila Ubeis Kisei, except for a bathhouse, a tannery, a mikveh, or a bathroom. Im mechuru shivas tovi ha'ir bamad ansheir, and if the town council sells it to the whole community, yaseh lokeach afilu ela arba devarim. The buyer can do anything you want with it, even these four things that are normally forbidden.
Right. Very good.
Anshe Hakfar Beis HaKnesses, the people in the congregation, Hu Adin B'Shel Krachim. This is certainly the case in the villages. Kishet B'Shas Habinyan B'Das Yachid. That it was when it was built, it was the beginning of a Das Yachid who was controlling it. Hamavor La'el B'Sof Siman Zion, which is explained to Zion. Okay, it's a permanent sale. Kivin Sha'anshe Ha'ir, Tove Ha'ir, Maskimin Mechir, since the town council or the whole community agrees to the sale, Ukul El B'Sif Zion, and see above in Sif Zion. Chusmi Merchas V'chulu, Kol Elohim Tashmishe Megunim. These are disgusting uses for it. Megunim Ma'od, very disgusting uses for it. It's us to do them in a place that was a base Knesset. And even if the building had collapsed, all you have is a pile of stone. It's us to do these four things there. Became also you can't plant in that place. There's all of these are an insult to a place that had been used as a base of Knesset.
Okay, good.
The Makrish Zayin Tu V'Ha'ir, B'Mabed Ha'ir, the reason is the Oz, Paku HaKadusha Mimakom Hu Lagamri, they removed the Kedusha from the place completely. Yain Pri Magadim, his topic, who doesn't agree with this. The Efsha de Be'inyan Dafka Keshahaya Bechedja Be'es HaMechira the Hirshu Lokeach Al Zeh. And specifically, if they mentioned the time of the sale, and they were concerned that the Lokeach might do this. Yasa Lokeach B'chulu Hu Adin She'al Yedei Shivatu Ha'ir B'Mamad Anshe Ir. It was when the town council, acting in place of the whole council, Matil Hotzi Hadamim, the Kol Mashiyirta, they master the money to use for any purposes. Afilu V'Davar, even something of mundane. Afilu El Arba Devarim, the buyer can do anything he wants with it. I'm Bir Halacha Dedinzel Lo Berura. This rule is not clear. And in the beginning, you really need to warn people about this, but I guess
To be careful about it, right?
debit it would be okay, but you should really not do it.
Correct. Right. It's not clear. Okay, very good. That brings us to Yud in the Mechaber.
Yesh Yomin the Yachid Mishalo Shalo Afilu Torah that a Yachid on his own, even the Sefer Torah, Mutal Machro Basosos Benov Kol Mashir, he can sell it to you anything he wants with the money. Kol Shalo Hikdishu Likros Barav, anything that was not designed for use by the community. Yesh Mishom, those who say Ela Im Kain Lilmo Torah O Lasa Isha. It's only he can only sell in order to learn Torah or to marry a wife.
Okay.
Okay. Yachid b'shalo Hatam Da'al Shalo Yeshlo Koach B'Shavatu Vayiv Mavan Anshair. Because it's his, he has a power over it, like the town council representing the community, Michelle Tzibor. Okay. Dumoto say al yidei mechirazu hadamim l'chol mashiyartza u'kanal. It's mutter to take the money that comes from the sale and use it for any purpose you need. I feel the Sefer Torah, even selling a Sefer Torah, cost of olas atamid, the aflafi deazu. Even according to this opinion, the mutter that it's mutter to sell it, the ein damim nifpasim b'kedusha, and the money does not maintain its kedusha. You're not going to see a bracha from this money. You can't cost of Eli Rabba, and the Eli Rabba writes the same thing.
Oh. Okay, that's very serious.
Okay, Kol Shalo Hikdishu, anything is not Kodesh. Magen Avram Mitzaded. Magen Avram holds the Im Nasul Rabim Likrosbo. If you give it to the public, if you give the Sefer Torah to the public to read from, also Kuli Alma, I feel Lohi Chu Mamish. It's usher to sell it at that point, even if they had made it a specific gift of it. Because of he also writes for Tzorachin, you have to examine it. Amas Somchin Ha'olam Shemokrin Sefer Torah Umishtamshin Demehem Afil Nasan Beisageses. To understand how people can sell Sefer Torahs these days and use the money from it, even to build a base Knesset.
Right.
So you need to say the Kivin Haminikin, because this has become the Minig, Havalek Ilu Hisnab B'Techila. It's as if they made a condition at the beginning. Shalot Tachol Kedusha Rabim Alehem. We're not going to get a Kedusha of the masses on top of that. Commercial Kosa B'Yeridea Simon Reish Nun Tes Sif Beis B'Hagat, as we explained in the Yeridea.
Good. Right.
The Yeshmis those who answer it. Udezo, and according to this opinion, I feel Shiva to the ear, B'Malad Anshe ear, Gamkain Asurim Limkor Sefer Torah Thomas B'Demecha. According to this opinion, even the town council representing the community can't sell it and use the money. Elohim Kain who Tolas Bishvil Limud Torah, unless they do it for Limud Torah.
For the benefit of learning Torah, right?
Right. Sold it, Sark Liknos with Demecha Sefer Torah Achad. You need to take the money and buy another Sefer Torah from it. Umilavush, Yoredea, Mashma, the Bashivitu ear, an Ansha ear. That if it's the town council representing the community, they can use the money from it with what they want. Custom organ of Ram, the Dafka Sefer Torah, specifically sell Sefer Torah. Val Tashmishe Kedusha, but other holy objects. Mutter b'yachid, makro. It's mutter for an individual person to sell. Mishtamsho b'demecha kol mashiyircha, and do anything you want with the money. Mihu, however, meha mechaber b'yordea reish pei bav sif ches mukak from the mechaber over there. It's implied. Yesh mi she'aser severe law dafil mishtamshin Mishtamshin nami aser mishtamis b'demeha. That though that to use it as aser is even the money that you get from selling would be aser. Yochid ein lo koach b'shivas to a year b'ma'od anshe year, because the Yochid does not have the same power as the town council does. Kasva Achron, the Achronim write to Afilu Sefer Torah, Limkonim Mitzchila Sefer Torah Kedei L'Mokra. They required a Sefer Torah in on the intention of selling it. Because Kenim Kiblu B'chov, if they had an obligation on it, Posha Demucha L'Mokro L'Kuliyam. It's clear, according to all opinions, you can sell it. Which Thomas Mecha L'Masha Yirtza, and use the money wherever you need. Isa Yerodea Siman Ayin Reish. Look at Yerodea Ayin Reish. The Shari Sfarim done in a Sefer Torah. That other Sfarim have the din like a Sefer Torah. V'ashal L'Machram Ela Lilmo Torah Olisa Isha. It's also to sell them other than to learn Torah or to get a wife. V'hinei Po Kosav HaMechaber. And the Mechaber writes over there, the Yesh Shtei Deos Afilu B'Sefer Torah. There's two opinions even according to the Sefer Torah. Efsher the Sham Mairi Kishekadushe Hikdushu L'Rabim L'Koros will be made holy for the community to read from it. Okay, Lilmo Torah Hainu Lahis Parnes B'Demecha B'Revach. That when you take the you support somebody with the money, the extra money you got from selling Sefer Torah. Because of it's also written Sarach Ian Im Mochrin Sefer Torah Liknos Gemara Uposkim Perushim. Whether it's much to sell Sefer Torah in order to buy Gemara or Poskim or Perushim, the Hatam the Mochrin Sefer Torah Bishvil Talmud Torah. Mishum Delimud Gadol Shemevi Lidei Maisa, because this learning is going to lead to Maisa. That's where you want to buy books of halacha. In Kain Hu Adin Efsher Kahai Gavna Nami. In this case, it would also be mutter. The Efsher Lilmod below Svarim, because it's also if the whole purpose of learning is in order to do, you would be allowed to buy these other because it's also it's impossible to learn. Without Svarim.
Very good. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Sweet.
Yes, Lauren.
All right. Have a good day, everybody.
You too.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Lou. See you tomorrow, Mr. Shem.
Okay, thank you.